So Caleb, recapping, what we've decided is that for you to hit your 80K per month goal, the easiest way for you to do that is to fully commit to what we're calling Pod A, which is a higher volume model where you're working with a lot of clients through a totally reliable and systematic process. They're lower ticket clients, their retainers are not quite as high, but you also aren't having to hire a world-class Navy SEALs team. And really where your energy and focus needs to go is into new client acquisition and really mastering how do I get these clients at scale.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So just looking at Pod A and all of the operations and team related to Pod A, beyond lead acquisition, because that's not my expertise, where are you seeing friction? Where are you seeing dropped balls or frustration when it comes to fulfilling on your lower ticket clients?
So for the lower ticket clients, I would say that the process from an area that I've seen drop off within our process was actually a recent example. We did a video production, we shot the content. I was the bottleneck because I'm working in Pod B and Pod A and doing marketing and doing sales. And this actually has happened twice now. We uploaded the footage and our project manager didn't populate the footage over. It took her like 3 days because she was confused. Didn't populate the footage over into ClickUp and then create tickets.
So there was a missed step of the process.
Yeah, typically we upload all the footage and then you take the footage we have gone over within the creative brief. That's the first step. So creative brief, you do the shoot. Then the tickets from the creative brief go into ClickUp as placeholders. And then the last step is taking the footage from Google Drive and putting it into the tickets, assigning it and communicating to the editors that it's ready to go. That process recently has been not very smooth.
And why has it not been smooth? Is it that people are not following the SOP correctly? Is it that people are not using the system correctly? Or is it that like the system fundamentally itself is broken?
So this is a new project manager. So I would say that from my viewpoint, I gave her enough feedback. Or I taught her what this process should look like. And we also created a Loom video for it. And then we also built out on Mural a section specifically for this process. And when it comes to SOPs, when I first started the agency, I was about SOPing everything, and then I found that I just SOP'd everything and it honestly wasn't helpful. Here's a Loom video talking through the SOP, like project manager times the video editor.
You've got every process workflowed out, mapped out in your company. Love that. So you know what the workflows are, you know what the processes should be. So tell me why people aren't following the process.
They would not be following the process because they don't know how to do it properly.
Have you done training on each step of the process?
On a call, yes, and then the Loom video. And then I built this roadmap out with her. And she was like, I don't understand.
Great. So this is beautiful. What I would also say is, are there tasks that get assigned at every single stage of this process? And like you check one task off and then that fires the next task.
Yes, we need to put that into ClickUp for the project manager.
So let's go over to your ClickUp. So ClickUp is your project management system. That workflow we were just looking at, where is that built out in?
Non-existent. This is the workflow.
Great. So here's the thing, right? Like this is lovely that this is all built out, but what you're assuming is that your team in the middle of a super busy day, super stressful, they got a bajillion things going on, is that they're going to click into this, they're going to like read through all of this, see where they are in the process, remind themselves, watch the Loom video, do the thing, and then somehow indicate to the next person on the line that that thing is going to get done. For the processes like this in your business, any business guys, any process that has multiple steps, involves multiple people, the SOP format that I recommend for that is a checklist format inside of your project management system. So if we were to go over to ClickUp, right, pick a folder that would make a template folder or something like that. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Perfect.
Sprint folder.
Sprint
you
folder.
Want me to make a list?
Yep, so make a new list.
What should we title this?
Whatever the name of that process is.
It would be...
Love it. So now let's just do the first 3 to show you how this works. So grab the first 3 steps out of that process and jot them in as tasks.
So these first 3? So strategy and ideation call.
So even if we want to get more granular, who schedules the strategy and ideation call?
Project manager schedules it.
So schedule strategy and ideation call. Perfect. That's the first one. Done. Next, have strategy and ideation call. Is there prep work that has to go into that call?
Yes.
So prep strategy and ideation call.
This is literally what my ops manager is doing on a doc.
I love it.
And sending
Except you should be doing it in ClickUp.
Yes.
Okay, so prep, ideation, and strategy call. And I'm sure there's a bulleted list of things that go into that, everything that needs to be done to prep. We can get back to that in a moment. Yep. Beautiful. Have strategy and ideation call. Love it. So now that you've had the call with the client, what happens?
We go and we create placeholders for the deliverables.
Great.
Off of the creative brief.
Create placeholder deliverables. And I'm sure there's another process for that, right?
Yep.
Love it. So your project manager is on that call. They now take all of the to-dos out of that call and they're creating a series of tasks or something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So let's pause there as an example.
Yeah.
Great.
Is that subtasks within the mother ticket then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for example, in this prep, ideation, and strategy call, let's say there's 5 things that your project manager needs to prep. Mm-hmm. Those could be subtasks. They're checking those off, and when they're done, they check off that task, right?
Got it.
Cool. So what's cool is that you can create things in ClickUp called dependencies. Mm-hmm. So until the have strategy and ideation call task is marked off, mm-hmm. the create tickets from that call will not go live. Like that task won't fire until the task before it is done. So like in this example, it's a little bit easier because your project manager is doing all of these steps, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say that somebody else was responsible for creating those tickets. Mm-hmm. How is that person going to know that the call is done? So in this example, I had the call, I check it off. That will automatically fire the task now to the next person on the line mm-hmm. that says, hey, you're in. Here's all the information you need. All of that's automatically populated into the task or into a client dashboard. They have all the info they need. Yep. And as soon as that task pops up, they know that all the info is done. The call has been had. They go in, they do their step, they check it off, that fires the next step.
Got it.
Right? So you're seeing a lot of dropped balls in your team right now. It's frustrating to you. It's making you feel like you don't have A players. Mm-hmm. The reality is the system is not setting them up for success. You're putting a lot of energy and effort on them mm-hmm. to stay on top of things.
Correct.
Versus when it comes to systems, my number one best practice is to pretend like your team is drunk. Pretend like your team is wasted. Mm-hmm. Could they follow this system if they were drunk off their ass?
No.
Because the reality of remote working environment is that our kid is sick and home from school. We might have left the oven on. Our dog is barking and I'm trying to get some work done. The amount of energy that they have to spend on this, they're pretty much drunk, dude, right? So make it as easy as possible for your team to follow the system before saying, they're not following the system.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yeah, because this is just a roadmap. This
Correct. It's helpful for your project manager so she can visualize and see it, but it's not a helpful tool for your team to be using every day.
Super solid.
Awesome.